Hey, what is going on, guys? Carter here with Edge Mindset. I hope you're having an awesome day. I quit my job today. Yes, I quit my job today. In fact, I just did my outboarding just about an hour ago. I just drove home after leaving and quitting my job and drove home. Yes, before you start freaking out, I do have another job lined up. Starts Monday. Not so sure it was the right decision, but I guess we'll find out. But in the meantime, we're going to do an unboxing. This is another Medford, but this is an old Medford. This is vintage Medford. Now, it's not the oldest Medford, as you can tell by the box. It is the new style box, but it's pretty dang old. You know, old for me. So, what are my expectations for this knife? My expectations are that it's a cool piece to have in the collection and it's going to look cool. I have pretty low expectations in terms of its ability to function, if you know what I mean. Oh man, oh there it is. I was like, this is prior to the current COAs, which is the big diploma looking ones. No, this is just the card. Okay, wait, so no COA on this. That kind of sucks. I was not aware that it didn't have a COA. Right? Yeah, this is just the business card. We've got the maintenance stuff. Huh, that is kind of a bummer. We do got some patches and a sticker. This is the dog tag. And so I don't have, I wonder if this is a replacement box, actually. You know, that might be the case. I apologize for people that are struggling to keep up. Because this is old. And I'm not an expert on old Medfords, but I'm pretty sure this knife came out before this tan style box. And so I'm thinking that maybe this isn't the original box and that the original stuff with this is lost, which kind of sucks because it would be cool to have something actually say everything involved here. But this is the 187F. Oh, it flips in a Vulcan finish. Now, the owner that I bought this from said something like that this is actually like a, I don't know. He called it a prototype. I don't know. I don't think it's a prototype. I do know it's an early one. What is that noise? I'm hearing something. Is it that? Something's tinking. Oh, is it? Oh, I think it's these body screws. Need to be tightened up. Let's do that right now. So I did do a little bit of digging, not that size, on the history of these knives. And it's always the last one you try, right? Always the last one you try. I did some digging on, oh, maybe not. Okay. Weird. Okay, what is going on here? I don't know if you're hearing that. This is going to be the worst video ever. Because now I'm just like, oh, it's this. It's the pocket clip was loose. Okay. I did do some digging on this, on the history of this knife. And I don't know about prototype, but this is one of the first runs. The very first runs that they did for this flipper 187. It flips okay. It's got that, this is the pre-collector's centering from Medford. I remember that so distinctly in my head back when he would do videos and he would talk about, you know, how some of his knives had collector's centering, because he used to be one of those kind of like Strider, right? One of those anti-fancy boys where he would kind of defend his knives not being centered or not being able to flip or, you know, not being finished all that great. He would kind of defend that stuff. Eventually he came around and fixed it all, but this was during that era when Medfords were not always centered, just like that. But I do know that this Vulcan finish was only done on the first run of these, and he switched it out. I've heard it's because it didn't flip that well. The finish just didn't ride on the detent ball all that well. It does look like a ceramic detent ball. That's pretty cool. Let's see how tight this is. Yeah, that's not too tight. It's not too tight. I was thinking about, gosh, I shouldn't monkey with knives, but boy, oh boy, do I end up monkeying with knives. Should we take this apart? Should we take this apart and count the washers? Let's do that. Or let's try to do that. I don't know. Sometimes these things, sometimes they don't like to come apart, you know. People be Loctiting. Companies be Loctiting. Let me find my tools. Hold on. All right, there we go. I'm back. Got our spanner bit here. Let's see if we can get this pivot done. Do I have two of these? I don't know if I even have two of these, so... Oh, that loosened right up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, let's open this up. Let's take a look inside and, you know, get it nice and lubed up. See if maybe we can mess with some of the centering. I don't know. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm glad to have it in my collection. I wish it had the original box and COA. It would be cool to see what it said. I don't know where the seller got the idea that this was like a prototype. It's certainly not stamped with it. Now, when I got a great deal on this. I think I paid $315 for this. So, you know, I didn't pay for like prototype pricing. But I was curious to see if up close there was, I don't know, like a cool P stamp or something on there. But I don't know where he got the impression it was something other than just an early run. Why is this not coming out? Okay, that's removed. We just got to pop this off now. Everything is tight. There we go. There we go. Woo! Okay, so it's looking like we've got two washers on this side and maybe one washer. Ooh, should I do the Medford trick and put extra washers on that side to try to get it centered? I don't know. We shall see. No, let me see. That is not a ceramic detent ball. This is a steel detent ball. So this is pre-ceramic detent ball. Ooh, do I want to change that out? Do I want to change that out? I might want to do that. I might want to do that. Let's see. Anything else going on here? We've got standoffs. This is back when, you know, he would, why is this? I don't know. I don't want to monkey with that. This is back when he would, what was I going to say? What the hell was I going to say? Oh, when he would screw directly into the titanium on the back here, and then people grumbled, and he started to do, you know, the double screws into the spacer. You know, a lot of custom makers still screw right into titanium, and I've never honestly seen an issue with it. So, you know, I don't know. Especially titanium this thick. You're getting a lot of threads in there, and this sucker's going through the whole thing. Anything else noteworthy? We got your lock face. We got your stop pin. Everything looks good. Is there any, like, DP for drop point, right? Yeah, got to be drop point. Interesting. Nothing indicating that it's the flipper with the big old trigger flipper there, which is kind of cool. And then, yeah, that's it. That is it. Let's see if we can switch out this detent ball. All right. Not the prettiest. Oh, wait. I'm missing my hammer. Okay, there we go. Not the prettiest backdrop, but, you know, it'll work. Now, the only tricky part, normally, because I'm pretty sure this is pressed in right here, so I can't remove this pivot. That's how we used to do it back in the day. So now I need to figure out how I can set this up with... I think that'll work right there. We'll go ahead and do this. How well do you think this is going to work? That was about as easy as it gets. Okay. Now, always a fun time here on Edged Mindset. Okay, now let's try to get a membership. A measurement here. 1.59 millimeters. That doesn't seem right. Let's see here. Oh, actually, no, that's probably right. Let me make sure I'm zeroed. Okay, zeroed. 1.57. I'm actually going to make sure to hold on to this. I don't know I don't know if I have a detent ball that's going to work. So, yeah, I may be putting this bad boy back in. Okay, let's see. Let's play where to put this detent ball where I'm not going to lose it and not going to... Okay, we will drop it in this baggie right here. Let's verify that it is safe. It is safe. Let's check my balls, shall we? I honestly... What was the measurement on that? Comment down below what I said. Just kidding. I can't see it. Because I know I have 2mm balls. And that's not going to work. So let's see what size these are. 1.58. So, yeah, that is the correct size. Pretty small balls. Pretty small balls. Where'd it go? You guys see where that went? There it is. Jeez. Okay. Ooh, this is going to be tricky. It's going to be... Oh, son of a bitch. It's going to be tricky because of that stupid pivot. And I keep losing the ball because I picked it up with the wrong hand for some reason. I apologize for this video. Do I really have to get another one? Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay. Tapped it in there. Okay, I am off camera down here. Let's do, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to have to come off camera here. Know what I'll do? Let me grab this. Here we go. Okay, I'm just going to call that good. That's a little lighter than I like to do, but that detent ball popped out like really easy, so I am a little concerned that it could potentially go too far in there. I don't know. The pressure of the lock bar is going to somewhat set that detent ball. This workstation is an absolute mess right here. That's all right. Should I do grease or should I just do oil? I'm going to do grease. Let's do grease. Let's do some grease. Now, I was kind of joking about putting 3 washers over there, but I don't know. Maybe, should I? I would like to get it centered. I might be able to do that just by kind of finagling it. I don't know. If anybody is still watching this, really appreciate you hanging on for this wildness. A lot of people are looking at me right now. Well, you're not looking at me, but you're thinking about me and you're thinking, who is this idiot? Why would he get a new knife and then proceed to do this kind of nonsense to it? And I get that. I totally get it. Part of it is because I'm pretty, anal retentive about a lot of things. And also, this is fun for me. I enjoy this kind of stuff. It's a little risky, when you're taking apart knives that don't need to be taken apart, especially a knife like this, which is more of a cool kind of have it in your collection piece and not necessarily a user, but I don't know. I don't know. Just can't help myself. Okay. We're just setting it back to normal washers. Now we need to, this is going to be kind of interesting, I guess. The way this is constructed, I've got to put this through here. Yeah, this is kind of a little bit of an awkward way to put a knife together, because now I've got to do that. I've got to try to, okay, I got that seated. Actually, I take that back. It was not painful at all. So, all right, I'm going to not fully tighten these if I can get them started. All right, there we go. We are cross-threaded. That is true. Okay, that's not good. Not good, not fun. This one's good. Let's back this up. Try it again. Oh, you know what it is? This is the one that is kind of stuck, huh? It's kind of stuck in that barrel spacer there. I don't know what's happening. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. Let's take this guy here. Do I want to Loctite it? Let's say no. Let's do no for now. Let's do no for now because I might be taking this apart again and messing with it some more, so no point in Loctiting it. We'll just do that. Not dirty at all inside. This looks like a knife that has not been carried, used, or anything, which is kind of cool, but then it's also like, why am I messing with it? Okay, still off center, but let's do the old trick, right? Let's do, uh-oh, now it's not flipping at all. Way to go, Carter. Way to fix that knife. Let's get a knife that kind of flips and make it not flip at all. I'm thinking the pivot's just a little too tight. Let's do the old school trick. Just looking for the appropriate tool, which is not that box. Need a piece of paper. Don't you love it when you can never find anything? Like, it's always in your way until you need it, and then all of a sudden it's disappeared. All right, we can put this away. I'm glad I had that ball. I bought those balls specifically for Emerson's because Emerson uses a smaller ball than Strider. And luckily that was the correct one for this. So if you're curious, these Medfords, at least the old Medford, uses the same size ball as Emerson here. Hold on, I'll be back. Okay, we're going to use a piece of the packaging here. So the old trick would be to kind of tighten things down except for the body screws. Crank the blade over in the direction that you want it to go, and then tighten the body screws down, with the idea being that it won't do anything. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it works. Spyderco's, it has a tendency to work. Okay. I mean, you know, it's flipping the exact same as when I got it. So, no worse. I don't think I want to mess with the washers. You know, it is tempting to try and move that blade over. I don't know if it's a matter of the blade needing to actually move over, though, because it seems like there's actually an equal amount of space up here. Is it the grind could be off? No, grind is good. So it might just be that this pivot is a little bit canted. You know, you got to keep in mind, this is an old, right? This is an old knife. I do got to say, first impressions, 18 minutes into this video, multiple shenanigans into this video. I do got to say that I like it. I actually like it. The flippers, you know, it's big and obnoxious. It's designed after like a trigger for a pistola or a rifle. And, you know, it works pretty well. It's up nice and high. It's nice and chunky. I love the Vulcan blade. D2 steel, because this is what, you know, this is what was used back then. Let me put a little bit of grease on the old Detent track here, even though it's exposed, and so it doesn't really matter. We'll do it anyways. You know, the ceramic ball that I put in there was not greased up. Now the hope is that this will continue to break in, because I don't think it's been used a lot, or carried, or flipped, or anything. So I don't know, kind of cool, kind of a cool piece to have. I'm contemplating getting into kind of old school Medfords. Let me check this out. Okay, so that's all the way tightened. And that is tight as, whoa, that's really tight. I'm kind of thinking about getting into collecting some of these older Medfords. You know, in my old age, I find myself kind of wanting to pick up knives from my youth, so to speak. And I bought a Medford Praetorian. It was a Praetorian G. It was an early release. So it was like the first Praetorian Gs where it had the bent pocket clip that had the lasered out like M with the knife. Of course, the snake bite pivot. It was Vulcan before Vulcan, like, you know, like Greg has the Vulcan finish down pat now. He gets some crazy, damn, that's a lot of Loctite. He gets some crazy colors now. It's pretty wild. Like if you haven't looked at Medfords in a while, hop onto you know, if you're so inclined, hop onto Knifejoy and check out some of the Vulcans that are for sale. Now, of course, Knifejoy takes really good photographs and the colors and the saturation are all kind of turned up, right? So it's not exactly indicative of what it's going to look like in your hand, but still, like some really good coloration coming from. Now the question is, do I run this a little tight and try to break it in? Or do I not? I don't know. Comment down below. What do you think of this knife? I'm going to stop wasting everybody's time that's here. I'm going to play with this for a little bit and see how I want to set that pivot. Let me know what you think of this knife. It is in like pristine condition. There is not a single mark on this thing. It is pretty dang cool. Only bummer is the lack of the COA, but you know, what can you do? All right, guys, talk to you later.